And how good is Canelo?
He's a phenomenal, consummate professional, and he's carried himself right the way through his career since he was 17 years old. So, you know, when you work at your craft like someone like Canelo, you get the results, and you get the results that you're due. He's paid his dues. You get me? So yeah, I'm not surprised that Canelo's a good fighter. He's a multi-weight world champion, and there's not a lot of people out there at the minute that I can see beating him. But you know, there is a style, but it don't only take styles, it takes frame of minds, and it takes stubbornness and winnability in your art to get over that hurdle and out-hustle that ball that's in front of you with slickness and skill.
Yeah. And if he was to come back, do you think you'd still be working with him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, and something that I'm really...
What's good, family? So smash the like button and subscribe. Wow! So we just heard there from Mark Tibbs airing out Billy Joe Saunders. Wow. Billy Joe Saunders is down super bad right now. Yeah, you best believe El Trapahan has no doubt. He's saying, listen, Mark Tibbs, you best be laying low. You best get back on that tram. Yeah? Let's not forget, we all saw the video of Mark Tibbs with his family heading out of town on the tram, waiting for the tram. 100%. You best head back to that tram spot, no doubt. Because I'm hearing from one of my sources that El Trapahan has sent the hitters out, yeah? He's sent the original shotters out. So Mark Tibbs is laying super low after airing out Billy Joe, man. Listen, let's get to it. Wow. Now, I've got to say, this was a bit of bad journalism here, but equally, I think that the journalist or whoever this interviewing Don is, I think he felt the vibe. Mark Tibbs weren't playing no games. Yeah? The next interviewer, Don, said, listen, are you going to work with Billy again? Are you looking forward to working with Billy again? He said, no. I'm not working with him. In fact, he didn't even say, no, I'm not working with him. He said, no. Yeah? Are you going to work with Billy Joe again? No. Pfft, that was stern and a single word answer. That tells you all you need to know about the MTK cartel and Billy Joe Saunders. Because Mark Tibbs spent 2-3 weeks or X amount of time, more time, chilling with them, man. And he weren't impressed, as you've heard there. Yeah? Will you be working with them again? No. And you can just feel by the whole vibe. And that's, to be fair, I was about to roast the interviewer by saying, why didn't you ask why? But listen, that one word spoke 1,000 words. Mark's expressions here said, oh, listen, we all know what he was getting at. He didn't want to play with them, with their goofy cartel games. And if any of you, man, think you need any more evidence that there was some goofy cartel things going on, again, just look at Mark's response. But equally, I do wish the interviewer did kind of stick his neck out a bit and say, why not? Because, you know what I'm saying? If someone says no that sternly, you're begging to know why. So I do feel there's a bit of... I know, I see both sides, yeah? Mark, the way that Mark said no, left little needed to be said. Because he did... That no spoke 1,000 words. 100%. But still, I'm itching. I love drama. I'm itching to find out of the horse's mouth, if that makes sense. Listen, the YB's already told you, man, what went on. So it's not going to be no surprise to us, but equally, for the 10th time this month, to have the YB's sources 100% confirmed from out of the horse's mouth, that would be nice. Because I always love getting off all over the haters who say I haven't got any sources. But once again, we're shown that the YB was 100% correct. Why would Mark Tibbs not want to earn millions of dollars again? Unless he knew there was some goofiness going on that I've already exposed. Number one, potentially, Billy was told to stay down. Number two, Billy Joe Saunders jacked. Yeah? Billy Joe Saunders jacked, and then got Ben Davison and the MTK shill a lower cartel to try and cover for him. And then essentially, in doing that, they sold Mark Tibbs down the river. And Mark Tibbs even said in this interview he hasn't heard from Billy Joe. Wow! That's how Billy Joe does his day ones. Don't forget, Ben Davison is a fly-by-night mate. Yeah? He wasn't there from the start. The Tibbs family, I believe, they've been there from the start. Jimmy Tibbs was the first one who really raised Billy Ho, I believe. So they're essentially his day ones. But Billy Ho shows where his loyalties lie. His loyalty lies with the cartel, 100%. He loves the Shilaloa cartel. He loves Ben Shilvidson. They are his family. Yeah? And they sold Mark down the river. You had Ben Shilvidson giving it the whole, Mark's irresponsible. How could Mark do such a thing? How could Mark do such a thing and allow a man who's been spouting off all week to earn his... Do you know what I'm saying? To back them words up. Mark, how dare you make a man who's been talking about how big his heart is carry on fighting? Mark, you're well out of order. How could you possibly expect a man who's been mouthing off all week about how big his balls are to actually back it up? That's what Ben Davison started saying, no joke. No joke. Ben Davison started slagging off Mark Tibbs for expecting Billy Ho to actually back up what he'd been talking about. Can you imagine that? Again, only in 2021. Only in 2021 can people talk a whole bag of rubbish for months and years. And then when it comes to being expected to do it, blame everyone else. Mark Tibbs was made out to be the villain. Mark. Billy Joe Saunders had only been talking about how big his heart was compared to everyone else's. Billy Ho had only been slagging off everyone else for jacking. How could you possibly expect him to carry on fighting after being hit once? That's what they were saying. I thought, what? It's craziness. Everyone was going off on Mark Tibbs for expecting Billy to, I'm not being funny here, going out for another round. That wouldn't even be backing up what he was saying. The things Billy Ho was saying he was happy to give his eye. Mark wasn't asking for that. Mark was just asking for one more round. Just give me one. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just fight through a little bit of adversity. Don't forget this. Billy Ho got hit once and jumped out. He didn't actually fight through any adversity. Adversity is once you've had problems. I.e., adversity would be, okay, I've been hit once, and then I got hit again. He didn't get hit again. He got hit once, and in the last 90 seconds of the round, he spent dancing, and Alvarez just kept getting off all over him, essentially by taunting him. Alvarez didn't go back to work. Alvarez didn't hit him again. Yeah? But even so, he didn't want no more. And then people try and blame Mark. So that's why, both of them reasons are why we get a kind of an insight into Mark Tibbs' mindset. He don't want the millions. You can keep your millions. He ain't Tyrone, yeah? Mark Tibbs has already said, Tyrone, take your millions from MTK. Ben Shilvidson, take your millions and all of your top fighters that you haven't earned. Mark Tibbs is from different crop. In fact, this is another perfect example of showing you the levels in boxing trainers between old school and 2021 Instagram trainers, yeah? 2021 Instagram trainers, they have no shame. They have no, what's the word? Yeah, they have no shame. They have no substance. They have no kind of respect for the sport. Because someone who has respect for the sport and class would say, you know what, Josh Taylor? You know what, Tyson Fury? Truth is, I haven't earned working with you. What have I possibly done to earn training either of you? I need to learn my spot. Yeah? Oh, no, not Ben Shilvidson. Ben Shilvidson is just begging to work with anything he can get his hands on. He doesn't care who the cartel has to threaten into training them. He'll take it anyway. Meanwhile, Mark Tibbs is offered them same $1 million opportunities. Dillian White, Billy Joe Saunders, Danny Dubois. He throws them away. He don't want them. That there is the definition of integrity. Doing things which don't even financially benefit you. That is so rare this day and age. Most people, again, Tyrone, Billy Ho, what's his name, Ben Shilvidson, they're all about the money. Don't care who they step on, don't care who they hurt. So long as their pockets are lined, that's all that matters. Mark Tibbs, his actions have shown it's about more than the money to him. And again, his most recent actions speak much louder than the words do. Because some of the things he's done many people would just bite their tongue and say, well, you know, I'm getting paid a lot of money, let me keep my mouth shut. He just told Billy, keep your money. Yeah? Keep your dirty cartel money. We don't want it. I don't want it. And in fact, in this interview, as you heard at the start of this video, he gives us a bit of an insight into why he sacks Billy Joe Saunders off. He says, listen, to beat Canelo Alvarez, someone will need you'll need a lot of heart to do that job. Which tells me that, or not tells me, that's just the facts. The facts are, you're going to need a lot of what Billy Joe doesn't have, and that's heart. And that's why he's leaving Billy Joe. Because Billy Joe, every great trainer has no problem with their fighters having a big mouth. The problem comes when that big mouth is not backed up. Men with integrity can't work with that. I can work with you. As long as you're loyal to your words, no one can ask for more than that. If you want to be a deplorable individual, but you are deplorable in the ring, we can all work. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for that. But it's no good acting like you're a hard ass, getting hit once, and begging for sympathy, and making lies up. That's another thing. Mark Tibbs saw all the lies about the injury. Saw all the fake news about his eye injury. He don't want to be associated with fake news and lies. Yeah? Again, Tyrone, MTK Tyrone, Billy Joe, Ben Shilverton, keep your money. We don't want it. Yeah? Integrity used to mean something. These days, it's all about the Instagram. Well, it looks good on Instagram. I'm paid. No, you are a kept woman, Tyrone. You're not paid, you're a kept woman. Yeah? Don't get me wrong. Each to their own. Like I said, it's 2021. If being a kept woman, if El Trapahan coming around your yard on a Friday night, in fact, if El Trapahan having the keys to your yard and just pulls up on a Friday night to hang out the back of you and ride the legs off you into the early hours of Saturday morning, if that's getting paid, again, each to their own. Me personally, I call that a kept woman. Where I'm from. You are a kept woman, Tyrone. There ain't no... Listen. YB, you're in the basement. I already told you, man, that. Anyway, I'd rather be in the basement than give some next man the keys to my yard to ride the legs off me into the early hours of Saturday morning. I'm taking the basement every time. You best believe. Yeah? Because there ain't no man hanging out my backside. Tyrone, can you say the same? The computer says no. Anyway, moving on from Tyrone, let's get back to this Billy Joe cat, because Mark Tibbs ain't finished, and the YB ain't finished, not even a little bit. Mark Tibbs told you, Billy, because you need to listen, you need to heed these words carefully. It will take a man with heart to beat Canelo Alvarez. Exactly what Billy showed none of. I'm sure there'll be some goofy fans, some goofy Billy Joe Saunders fans who say things like, "Oh, but YB, mate, he was talking in general. He wasn't talking about Billy Joe." Listen, do you think it's a coincidence? The one fight where heart is, of all the topics, yeah, Alvarez versus Saunders, the one topic after that fight was what? It was heart. So do you think it's really a coincidence when the interviewer asks Mark Tibbs, "Mark, what do you think it will take to beat Alvarez?" And one of the first things he says is, "It'll take someone with a big heart." That was muggy for me. Yeah, that was too close. That was too close to the, what did you call it? That for me was too close to home. Yeah, Billy Joe's gonna be sore after hearing that, real sore, almost as sore as Tyrone on a Saturday morning after El Trapahan shuts the door on the way out. Yeah, almost as. No one's as sore as Tyrone on a Saturday morning. You best believe that as well. But anyway, listen. You best believe Billy Joe going through it right now. Billy Joe is going through it. Mark Tibbs. It's one thing, yeah, if someone disrespects you, but they're taking your money, because you almost feel like, well, you're on the payroll. But for someone to throw your payroll back in your face and then tell you you ain't got no heart. Wow, that's bad. He don't want your money. And you ain't got no heart. You're heartless. And as a fighter, or as an alleged fighter, I wouldn't call Billy Joe a fighter. we throw away. I'm sorry, but in 2021 we throw around that fighter. What do they call it? We throw around that fighter tariff like it's a given. Oh, but YB, he put gloves on. Oh, but YB, he laced his boots up. I'm sorry. That doesn't qualify you as a fighter. That makes you a paid professional like everyone else. Everyone else puts their boots on to go to work. Everyone else, you know what I'm saying? Plumbers, a boxer putting his... I'm sorry, yeah, let me break it down to you, man, because some of you goofy 2021 casuals, you seem to be under the impression that a boxer putting on his work tools makes him something magical. No, it doesn't. Yeah? Let me explain it one more time. A boxer putting his gloves on and getting in the ring is like everyone else getting up in the morning and going to their job. You don't get praise for that. That's a standard. You signed up for that. No one didn't ask you to do it. I'm sick of this thing of, oh, YB, but he's been in the ring and we've got to respect everyone. No, we ain't. I respect Billy Ho getting in the ring as much as I respect Bob the plumber for turning up for his job. Because guess what? No one else... You know what I'm saying? I don't get no praise for putting the YouTube video out. That's what I signed up to do. Why are we giving all this credit for people for doing what they signed up to do? No. I'm not down for that. I'm not going to nosh no one off because they did what they signed up to do. If you don't like it, don't do it. Where fighters get praise in my book, I'm setting a new standard. Because it's 2021, well, he got in the ring, so we must nosh him 24/7 no matter what he does. No, I'm sorry, that's played out. The new standard is, the official standard is, when you do something over and above the standard thing. You know what I'm saying? Over and above the standard. Because again, simply putting gloves on, slapping a pair of boots on, and hearing the bell ding. Malik Scott versus Wilder did that. What do we do? That's another thing I'm sick of. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of hearing, oh, but YB, we must respect Malik Scott even though he dives on the floor. We must respect him because he got in there. No. You man can. You moist 2021 casual fans can. I don't. You get respect when you do something normal average people don't do. Normal average people go to work. Yeah? I'm sick of putting fighters on a pedestal like they're doing something real special when they ain't. They're doing what they trained to do. Just like everyone else is doing. I don't hear no one ringing up the local whatever and noshing them off for turning up to their job and doing what they're supposed to do. So don't give me that. Because Billy Joe Saunders has trained for years to put his gloves on and put his boots on. You get praise when you do something that's over and above the standard. Yeah? The plumber gets praised when he turns up at, 1 in the morning. Because a single woman with kids, you know what I'm saying? A water ain't working. You get praised for that. You get praised for turning up 9 to 5. That's what you're supposed to do. Billy Ho. You don't get praised for jumping in a ring, getting hit once, and hopping out. That's what you're supposed to do. In fact, Taylor, you're not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to fight back. That's another thing. Where was the fight back thing? Where was the fight back in Billy? Where did Billy say, you know what? I've been hit. And the worst thing is, there's a saying, I'm down, but I'm not out. Billy didn't even get put down, and the worst thing is, he actually uses that as a, he uses that as a kind of to show off. He says, I never went down. That's embarrassing. Wait there a minute. So wait there. You never went down, but you still hopped out. That's even worse. You'd have been better off going down. At least then you could say, well, I was damaged and I couldn't stand up properly. But this shows you the state of the public in 2021. It's full of what's the word I'm looking for? It's full of soft, emotional dons. Yeah? Female sounding asses. That's what it's full of. It's full of mother ducks, mother hens. Oh, but YB, you know, he's iron. You weren't saying that when it was Daniel Dubois. He was too busy talking about the Black Quitter when it was Daniel Dubois. He was all laughing, finding it well funny. Oops. Oops. Oh yeah, it was great YB seeing a big black bull like that get put down. Everyone was loving it, weren't they? All of a sudden it's little Billy. Oh, but YB is iron. But it's different because it's different YB because his team did it and it wasn't him. Wow. Yeah? Listen, Billy. You got hit. And you didn't fight back. Down but not out. You wasn't even down. And you was still out. Wow. You weren't down, but you was out. That's the worst combination. Down and not out. You wasn't down, but you was still out. That's super bad. Where was the fight? Where was it? I'll tell you where it wasn't. It wasn't in the ring, because that's what Marks just said. Marks just told you, Billy. It'll take a man with heart. A man with something you showed none of to beat AIRS. That's at least what it will take. You couldn't even meet the basic requirements of fighting back and saying, you know what? I've got a bit of bruising on my eye, but I'm gonna give him another round. That's the thing. That's all Mark was asking for. He weren't asking for a miracle. He weren't expecting you to magically win. What he was expecting was you to say, you know what? Let me give him one more round. Because that, for me, yeah, that's what I'd call a fighter. I'd say a fighter is someone who. In fact, you know what? I'm not even sure I'd call that a fighter. Going out for one more round, that's more or less the standard, isn't it? If you're not fully battered, the standard is you go out for one more round. I'd call that doing your job, honestly. I wouldn't even call that being a big warrior. Being a warrior would be pushing on. Like I said, being a warrior in my mind would be still trying to win. Or better yet, still trying to win or trying to find a way. Even if it wasn't. Especially given the way that he's talked over the years. About how much of a warrior he is. About how much heart he has. About how he's a different type of champion. You'd only been hit once. And you was all out of ideas. Tell a lie. 6 weeks after you was in the ring, you had all the ideas about turning orthodox. So why didn't you start using some of them? Why wasn't you begging your corner to start using some of these great ideas you had, allegedly? You was all out of ideas. You didn't want no more ideas. You wanted out of there. Yeah? And people want to tell me about how we've got to give respect for people not even doing their job. Didn't even do your job. Your job was to go in there and give it what you had. You didn't do that. That's what the fans paid for. That's what your fans paid for. You to go in there and to give it all you had. You didn't give it all you had. Like you tried to celebrate about. You didn't even go out on your back. And you know what? I gave Anthony Yard a lot of stick. But to be honest with you, all the stick I gave him, he did what he was supposed to do. Yeah? Rightly or wrongly, he went out on his back. He could have easily sat in the corner and said, you know what, boss? I'm out of gas. I'm done here. Fair play to the kid. He's got true heart. People give Anthony Yard a lot of stick. At least he went there until he didn't have no more left. It's more than your man's Billy Ho can say, but for some reason everyone's good to give it to Anthony Yard, but no one don't want to give it to Billy. It's interesting. There's a lot of occasions of that as well, isn't there? Anyway, listen. Billy, Mark Tibbs don't want you. Because you are heartless. You don't have no more. You don't have nothing to give. Mark Tibbs don't want to have his brand associated with fighters who fold. Because unfortunately, it's another thing. Back in the day, fighters, they had, They had respect for their team, if that makes sense. There was honour in their team. These days, there is no honour. People like Ben Davidson. The way Ben Davidson encouraged Josh Taylor to fight in his last fight, that wasn't honourable. Telling Josh Taylor in the 8th round, well, we're winning, just coast. You know what I'm saying? That's not honourable. That's not honourable to your fans. That's not honourable to the sport. Same as that's Ben Davidson all over. He ain't got no honour. Back in the day, fighters, even if they didn't want to be there themselves, that relationship you have with your trainer, you owe it to them. To show, do you know what I'm saying? To show what they've put into you. What's the point working with you for 10 weeks? And you don't even want to, you don't even want to give it your all. And then you want to get onto and it's not people like me and Mark wouldn't even mind if he took responsibility for his actions. You can work with that. But the way you've gone on, tried to blame Mark, tried to lie to the public about everything, it's embarrassing. It's weaselly.